Hi, I'm Max, and this is KMD Motorsport. And today, we're going to be putting everything onto the block up to the head, hopefully. So to start with, we're going to clean up and take apart the oil pump and oil baffle so that I can replace the O-ring in the release valve and just make sure everything looks okay. So yeah, let's start there. I've got a wrench, another wrench, and then I've got this tool to take a C-clip out because there's one in here that you'll see shortly. And I've got some assorted Viton O-rings. I'm only gonna need one out of this to replace the one that's in here. That's on there more than I thought it would be. Oh, there we go. Alright, well, there's a ring on there too, so that will get replaced. And then, yeah. Alright, that leaves us with this oil pump. This nut here is a 17 mil, and it is reverse threaded. It says on here, Lösen, in German, also in English actually, so, and it has an arrow pointing in the clockwise direction, so I'm just gonna do that. There's that sprocket. People say the sprocket should be changed when the teeth are like really sharp and pointy. These are still pretty round and nice, so I'm not worried about reusing this sprocket. Now these are all 10 mils, 5 of them here. Oh my. This should come off the front here, like so. And there you go, there's the pump. So it's a pretty neat mechanism. It's just, mechanical pump. So oil comes in from this pickup tube here and enters and gets sucked up. Basically the oil comes up here, and as this tooth pulls out of here, it creates where the oil fills that void, and then while it's in this slot here, then the tooth comes back around, pushes it out here and pushes it this way and out and up into this channel here and pushes oil out through the rest of the motor. So pretty neat, pretty cool. This should just slide out like so, along with the cylinder, and there we go. These do have dots on them to tell you which side goes out. So there's a dot there on the top. There it is. And right there. So now it's time to pull this valve out here. There's an O-ring in there that I'll want to replace. So I've got my C-clip tool here, and it's kind of hard to see in there, but basically there's a C-clip and you just pull it. I think this is going to be kind of annoying to get out, but alright, so I had to go and adjust where these pins were because they were kind of like, they're too far out and there's too much torque on them, so they're spreading out farther than they should have been. So I took them down a bit and got a better grip on the clip. So there's the clip right there, and then this thing is in there, and it doesn't really want to come out because it's been in there for a long time. I don't know how I'm going to get it out. Oh, there it goes. Alright, so I just banged it on the table a couple times and then pushed my thumb on it and it popped out. Oh, and a lot of oil is coming out. So this is some kind of pressure regulator thing. There's one more piece that needs to come out of here. Oh, there it goes. Just stuck my thumb in it, pulled it out. So there you go. So that's kind of what it looks like in there. So these are all oily. There's a Viton ring here that I'm going to change out with another Viton ring, along with that one over there. That one's looks like it's just regular rubber, but I'll change that with the Viton one because it does hang out in oil. So while all this stuff is out though, I'm going to try to wire wheel this up as nice as possible, get it a little bit shinier and just nicer, because clean parts are better parts and dissipate heat better. And if there's something that shouldn't get too hot, it's your oil pump, I'd say. So oh my gosh. Alright, it's getting better. It's getting there. Here's the original O-ring. So it's time to find a replacement for that. Just rolled that like 5 times, but yeah, I mean, I think that's good. I think. Yeah, it should be good. So I'm gonna go to a couple local auto parts stores and see if I can find an O-ring like this, and then we'll get back to you. And we're back with O-rings. So I went all around the city trying to find O-rings that would work, and ended up going to Alum's European Imports, which is somewhere I actually used to work. The guys there are really cool. One of the mechanics hooked me up with these O-rings, which are like the perfect size. Same diameter, like this diameter, and also thickness. So these are great. I learned a little bit about O-rings as well. I knew that the difference between the black and the kind of reddish brown. The black is like a petroleum based rubber, and then the reddish orange are Viton. And the Viton ones, it's not about actually, it's like the difference, the reason that you want Viton isn't because Viton stands up to oil better, it's that Viton stands up to higher temperatures better. And while he didn't have Viton ones, he actually had these green ones instead. And the green ones are hydrogenated bunanitrile, which is nitrile, like, you know, what gloves, you know, you get nitrile gloves, but it's got some additives in it, and it actually makes it resistant to both chemicals, so mainly refrigerant, like 134A, because these are what's used in your like AC lines, and they're also resistant to high temperatures and oil. So he gave me 3 of these, which I only need 1, but he was like, you know, might as well take 3. So I got 3. I'm gonna slide this on here, and then we can start putting everything back together. Fits on real nicely. I've got the other piece already in there. Slide this in like that. Now, I don't know yet how I'm going to get this clip in here, because there's a heavy spring and this clip, and so making these work together is going to be rather interesting. I'm guessing I'm going to need a hand from my coworker over here in a second, but we'll see. Maybe I can figure it out. Alright, so I wrapped it around my thumb here. You can see that. Now I'm going to take my tool in here, close the ring up, push it down, get it in there. Nope, that wasn't quite it, but I think that will work. Is that in there? I don't think so, but like almost. Oh yeah, that's it. That was the noise. There we go. All right, so yeah, I kind of got it in there. I don't know how it was staying in there without springing out before, but I kind of got it to a point where it'd stay. And I took a socket and put it on there and just pushed down as hard as I could, and it eventually clicked in there. So pretty proud of myself on that one. I'm not using assembly lube on this because I just don't think it's needed, and also assembly lube's kind of thick, and so like I don't want it, I don't know, circulating through the entire, like I don't want it going up into the filter and going, you know what I mean? That's and I mean this stuff is going, whatever gets pumped into here is going straight from the pump to the filter, so any assembly lube is going to be just like going straight to the filter. And plus the oil pump is like going to be the first thing that sees oil out of everything, so I don't think it really needs to be that well lubed up. I just don't want it to be completely dry when it is spinning, so when it first spins. I'm gonna look and see if these have a torque spec. Even if they do, I won't lie, I don't know if I could find it. I'm not finding it anywhere, so I'm just gonna tighten it to what I think is a good amount of tight. I guess that is true. Alright, I'm not gonna wire this up yet. I'm just gonna leave it like this because It's not even tight yet, so. And actually, think about it now, I might just take this stuff off till the pump is on the block. Pickup tube there. And I did put some oil on the O-ring. And the baffle. So time to find all these bolts. Hopefully I labeled them right. Lock sensors. Please. Thermostat stuff. Okay. Miscellaneous. Oh, this looks like it. Oil pump. Oil pump. There we go. Alright. Oil baffle. I think these are those. Yeah, must be. I was getting a little worried. They're all the way at the bottom of the thing. And that is why you always label all your hardware and you don't just throw it into a bucket. Alright, so there's the 3 long bolts, 1 shorter bolt. So the short one goes there, and then there's these 3 longer ones here, here, and here. Alright, then we've got these ones. The screen definitely protects from mosquitoes, but it does not protect from hot. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go consult previous video to see what I had torqued these to. I think it was 30 Newton meters, but I'm gonna double check. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I was right. I did them to 30 Newton meters, so I'm gonna do the rest of these to 30 Newton meters. I figured out the torque spec for these, which was 16 foot-pounds. So these here are 16 foot-pounds. No. Feel weird though. But, I mean, I did do the other ones too. So back to that one.
There's aluminum. I'd be careful.
Yeah. So on some of those, I don't know, it is like aluminum, and I'm pretty sure they're steel, like bolts. So they, I don't know. I didn't want to go too crazy with them. Some of them felt like they just weren't tightening. It might have just been because I've got this baffle in between them, so it was kind of like squeezing everything down. Um, so I may go back later in a second to like feel them again to see how it feels. Um, but yeah, it was a little weird. So I kind of just used the torque wrench until it got to some amount, and then I went back with just my hand wrench because I got scared and just kind of went around, and they all felt really tight. So I don't know. 89 inch-pounds. I think it's kind of funny torquing these to a spec, but you know, I found it, so I might as well do it. Let's take this off. Oh, I was gonna do Loctite on these too. Hold on. That's kind of funny. All right, so that's the oil pump and baffle and pickup tube installed. So yeah, hopefully I can get the timing components done, and then the short block should be pretty much done. All right, cool. All right, so oil pump, baffle, pickup tube are all on. So now I want to move towards putting on the timing components. So we're going to need to install the chain guide and the chain tensioner guide, as well as the sprocket that goes onto the crank. So before I install the pins for the tensioner, I'm gonna maybe try to clean them up a little bit. These parts actually turned out really nice. There's the pin for the tensioner guide. It's really nice and shiny, actually. And then the other one for the idler guide, I guess you could call it. Nice and shiny. Alright, so those are all nice and cleaned up. Now they can go on the block. And I'm going to put Loctite on these because I should put Loctite on them, I guess. I don't know. Here. It's pretty obvious which holes these go into. Yeah, it's pretty obvious where these go. For one, there's only 3 holes that these could even thread into on the front of the block. Also, the 2 that are identical go with the 2 holes that are next to each other, you know, kind of in line with each other. Also, you know that the idler tensioner goes here, and the idler guide goes here, and the tensioner guide goes here. So those are all kind of the ways you can figure that out. Now I don't know if these have a torque spec. I guess I'll look and see. I don't think that they do. I think you just kind of tighten them down. Yeah, I'm just gonna tighten them down. So I don't know if I have a socket that will fit all the way over those, but I'll see. I might just actually use a box wrench. So let me grab one of those. 15. That's tight. That's tight. 16. That's tight. Alright, so as you kind of maybe saw, I didn't really go crazy on them. I just kind of tightened them until they felt like they didn't want to move anymore. Well, I tightened them until they felt tight, and then I stopped. I didn't go crazy tightening them. And I put Loctite on them, so I think they should be okay. Idler guide just kind of snaps on there. There we go. Yeah. Perfect. You see how there's there's like a longer side from the hole and then a shorter side from the hole. You want the longer side up. So you can put it on upside down. Don't do that. Put it on this way. I think that once you install the head and you're putting like the chain and stuff together, it'll become apparent that it would be the wrong way. But might as well do it right the first time. So yeah, put the longer side up. This one, however, you can't really get it wrong because it has to go up like this, and if you were to put it this way, then that just doesn't even make sense. Also, it wouldn't slide on the pin because of the way that it locks. So that's on like that. So that's like that. Now we've got our sprocket here. Ooh, look how nice and shiny that is, huh? Yeah, right? Give it a sniff. Yeah, it smells like chemicals, doesn't it? I don't really see a front and back to this. I don't see why it would have a front and back because it seems pretty symmetric. There's like a little... I'm just gonna say that, you know, there's a little bit of like stamped lettering here. I think it's just the part number. I'll put that out facing forward. I'm just doing that arbitrarily. So there's the key there, and then over the key on the pin. I forgot my new oil pump chain at my new house in not this city. So I'm gonna use the old pump chain just to demonstrate for now, and then magically in a future episode you'll see that it is no longer the old pump chain. But for now we'll put this one on. Because there's tension there, it kind of requires that you do this like this. There we go. Alright, you've also got this, your crank to cam timing chain that goes over like so. And goes around like that. So once the head is on, this stuff will be, you know, around one cam gear like this, and then there's another cam gear. There's another cam to cam gear that goes between the two camshafts. Now I'm gonna go mess with the timing cover because this thing is gross and it still has the old front main in it, and I need to see if this stud comes out easily. All right, let's move everything around. Alright, so here we are with the timing cover. It's really gross and nasty. I've got this wire brush here. I've got like one of these little plastic scrapers that I'm going to use to scrape off some of the gunk. And I got a screwdriver here to knock out the seal here. Also got vice grips here to get this stud out. I should grab some blaster or, you know, arrow coil here. So yeah, let's get to it here. I guess I'll start with the stud. Now, there's no way that I'm reusing this stud no matter what, so wrecking the threads on it is not really a care of mine. There it goes.
Gorilla fingers. I got this.
Alright, so there's that broken stud. I think I'll be able to go to a junkyard and get that off of there. Professional. Now for this seal. Beautiful. Alright, so there's that. Basically what I did was I just kind of like destroyed one side of it so that it wasn't as rigid as before, and then I went around and tapped around all the other sides, and then it just kind of popped right out. So there we go. Alright, so after messing with this for a little bit, I think I've decided that I just want to go take it to get hot tanked. It's really gross, and like there's so many sealing surfaces on here. You know, this is head gasket here, first of all, and then there's a gasket that goes here, and then the gasket that goes here, and you know, this gasket is what keeps water away from oil and also keeps the water pump from leaking. And so I don't know, I'd feel better if it just went and got hot tanked and cleaned up really nice. Alright, so I figured I might as well look around for some other parts to go and get hot tanked with the timing cover, and I figured I'd go get my rear main seal housing cleaned up, because I mean, it looks okay, but it is dirty and it is glazed quite a bit, so I figured I'd take this, but before that I gotta knock this seal out. Alright, so we've got, there that goes, this, and I just looked at my crank pulley. Might as well take this in and see if I can do anything with this. So I'll take these in and see what he can do. Yeah. Alright, so we've got the parts back from the machine shop, all nice and polished up. Well, not polished, but washed. And I mean, I'm always impressed by like what stuff looks like after it comes out of the washing machine thing, because I mean, just look at the crank pulley. It's like, I can't believe what it looks like now. Almost looks like powder coated or something. So yeah, I'm very happy about all this stuff. Before we put it on though, I'm gonna spray everything down with brake clean, as you could imagine. There is like, you know, leftover, you're not gonna be able to see that, but you know, I wipe my finger on some of the sealing surfaces and my finger comes off a little gray. So I'm gonna spray it all down and wipe it down, and then we can put it on the block. So let me do that. All right, so look at that. I don't know if there's some kind of coating that they put on this or something. I mean, getting all this stuff looking like this was $25, so I couldn't imagine they did like anything like really crazy coating this. I kind of figured it was just kind of like a residual thing after, like residual effect after tanking it. But cleaning it off, like you get this silver stuff coming off of here. But the thing is that it like comes off with your fingernail. Or at least it doesn't, yeah, like right there. So yeah, I don't know. And then it also is like on the sealing surface. The head gasket actually goes there, so it definitely needs to come off of here. So yeah, I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna keep trying to clean it off. Kind of weird, but yeah, I don't know. We'll keep going with it. All right. Well, I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I did that, but the sealing surfaces definitely needed to be cleaned. So you know, at least I know it'll seal. Again, like if you're doing this and you get a part back that looks like that, clean sealing surfaces and anything that's going to touch fluids so that it's not in your fluids. And other than that, leave it be, and maybe it'll, you know, look nicer and get preserved a little longer. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. All right, well now that that's all clean, I'm gonna put the front main seal in there. I'm gonna do one more quick pass around the front main seal. Alright, that came off clean. So now it's time to put the seal in. We're just going to put this on like this, and then we're going to take a block of wood and tap that in. You do not oil this, it goes in dry. So it's going to go there. Alright, so we've got our little JB Weld block here. And then place it flat on there and just... Oh yeah. Alright, so yeah, it took a little more, but I did get it pretty much right there. Alright, so time to put all this stuff on the block. Yeah, alright, so let me... Alright, block and all the stuff I need. So timing cover here. I've got my 2 gaskets that go on the front of it, and crank pulley. I'm not sure if that's going on yet. And then my oil pump sprocket. And then I got all my hardware right here, which I'm gonna go polish up on the wire wheel here in a second. Alright, so I figured out where all the bolts go. It's pretty obvious actually, since there's only 2 size bolts. There's the long one, which goes in the deep holes, and then there's a short one, which goes into the short holes. The holes only come in 2 sizes, really. This size and this size. So just put them where they go, and it's pretty simple. I've also got my 2 gaskets here. This one goes here, and this one over here goes like that. Alright, so I have decided, based off of my own desires, to put some ultra gray onto the sealing surface, because if this leaks, I would be really upset. So I got some ultra gray here. Just gonna go around and do a nice bead of it. Alright, I've got this absolutely beautiful bead here, and I'm just gonna go through and try to make it better. And I'm using where I could see it used to seal, where the gasket used to seal, as a guide for where to put my gasket maker here. Alright, I feel pretty good about that. Gonna go on this side now and do that side, and then we can throw this thing together. So something to keep in mind while you're putting gasket maker on like this is you don't want any of this stuff going into your pickup tube. As some of you may know, that's a problem on the new BRZ in 8.6 because they use former gasket, I guess, on their oil pan instead of like an actual gasket. And then they smush it together and then it gets sucked up into the pickup tube and then you lose oil pressure. So just be mindful of that. For one, something I'm going to be doing is not immediately squishing this together. I'm going to put the timing cover on, tighten it a little bit, and then tighten it all the way after 30 minutes or so that it has time to kind of turn into a gasket before it seals. And I'm also trying to make sure that where it is not very much in where the oil itself touches it. So coming through with the rag and wiping down around. Alright, I'm also going to put some on the other side of these gaskets, just a little bit, so that it seals better to the timing cover itself. Alright, so I put the timing cover on. I just did the bolts finger tight, just to leave room for the gasket to form a little bit. We're gonna go have lunch, come back, and I'll tighten them down to torque, which I think was like 89 inch-pounds or something like that. But yeah, we'll come back to you after lunch. Alright, so actually, before we go to lunch, I want to say real quick, what I did was I took this like scraper thing and I went through on the inside of the timing cover and scraped away any excess that had squeezed out initially, just because I don't want that bead drying in there and then like ripping off and going into my oil. So I just kind of went around and scraped away at all of that. I guess I'll actually do that inside my water pump housing as well. Alright, so we're back from lunch. I've let it dry for a little bit. It's definitely still wet, I know, because there's some on the bench here. But it's, tackier than when it went on, so I'm going to tighten it down. These are tightened to 10 Newton meters. So I've got my torque wrench here. But before that, I wanted to point out real quick, there is a little notch on the inside of the timing cover. It looks like this, but it's longer. It goes from about here up to here. And the chain has to go around that. And when we put this on the first time, I neglected to do that, so it was on one side of it. So I had to pop this back off real quick and move that around. But now it's good, so now we can tighten it. I just want to say that real quick in case anyone is following along. So I'm just going to kind of go around somewhat randomly. Alright, and that's all the timing cover bolts bolted and tightened. So that's really all we have for now. I did get a little more squish out of the Ultra Gray here, so I'm going to go through and wipe some of that up, but you don't need to see any of that. So yeah, that's about it. In the next episode, you should be seeing me pretty much seal up the motor. Head should go on, cams in, Vanos on, but yeah, and we'll get to see the mechanical timing too, so I'll see you then. I think that was pretty good. Install the, hi. Alright. Is that Monte Carlo? Watch out, cat. Alright. Fine. Watch out, this thing's a little gross and dirty. Alright.